What's up, everyone? It is your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How is everyone doing today? I am doing well myself. Sorry for being a little late. At a toddler emergency, so it put me a little behind. I was all ready to go downstairs, and my poor little girl decided that she needed to pee her pants. So I had to change her diaper real quick while Mom went upstairs and grabbed some important items. So that's what happened. I'm gonna double check, make sure my audio is good before I get going on this wonderfulness. Let's see. Okay, cool. That's good. But yeah, that's what ended up happening. So sorry for the delay. All right, cool. I'm good. I can hear myself, my beautiful voice. Anyways, so yeah, that's what happened. Well, yeah. Few housekeeping things before I get started. Make sure you follow me at official W Ghost on the Twitter, the X, however you want to call it. So check me out there. You can see when I go live, status updates, etc., etc. I've been tweeting a little more, so voicing my opinion on things. So hopefully that'll gain me some more audience members, or not. Who knows? And then also follow me at on rumble.com/withghost. That is my daily show. That's what you're currently watching. If you're watching this on Rumble or YouTube, follow me on Rumble. And then also check out my gaming channel, rumble.com/gamingwithghost. That's where I play some video games and have some fun. Check that out because I will be playing the new Naruto game at some point. I have not decided when because I'm busy all the damn time. But yeah, so check me out there. Now, before I get started, I just want to do one thing. I want to do a little to a Wago. That's for you, buddy, for giving me a follow yesterday. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a little shout out. Let's try what I try to do with every new sub or follow, however you want to call it. I don't know. Anyways, so we got a few things. I slightly changed it. I added two things in the beginning I want to talk about because I think they're important. First off is a firefighter who died after saving a guy from overdosing. His killer pulled a gun on him and killed him. Well, actually, I think he was shooting at cops, and then the cops shot him. And I think he got like hit at some point. I got the video. His killer's on $500 bail. It looks like he leaves behind a wife and 3 kids. His name was Mitch Lungar. And so I wanted to watch, we're going to watch the police body cam video. And it's kind of relevant to the first topic, this one, because it was shared by Andrew Tate. So we're going to watch the body cam footage. And then another one, this doesn't have anything to do with Andrew Tate because he didn't share it. But I think I will do it after him, though. After I talk about the Tates. I mean, it's a very loose connection. Let's be honest. Andrew Tate just tweeted it out. So it's not really connected to Andrew Tate. It's just, something he tweeted out, and I'm going to talk about the Tates. So I figured, why the heck not? So I'll do the second thing I'm going to talk about after I finish talking about the Tates. But after the body cam footage, we're going to look at a Tristan Tate tweet where the BBC got their hands on his criminal charges, and then the worst piece of evidence is pretty benign, honestly, if you think about it. This is from the BBC. As you know, if you've watched me for a while or watched the Tates for a while, the BBC keeps trying to paint the Tates in a bad light, and they have consistently consistently gotten owned. So the BBC has failed once again. So we will check that out. And then after, this is the addition I'm adding to it. Armed homeowner who defended his family in driveway shootout has been stripped of his gun permit. This comes from California. Shocking. I know. So we're going to look at that. And then Donald Trump's gag order has been lifted temporarily by the appeals court in his civil frauds case. So we're going to talk about that because it's important. And then George Santos, a Democratic, I think he's Democrat. Oh, no, he's a Republican, a New York Republican, has been accused of allegedly spending campaign funds on Botox, Farango, or the fuck that is, and OnlyFans. See, even senators aren't, or Congress people aren't immune to the allure of OnlyFans chicks. The fuck, dude. All right, so we're gonna read that. I thought he was a Democrat. He's apparently a Republican. All right, cool. And then we will talk about a January 6th conviction. Black Lives Matter activist has been convicted on charges in a January 6th case. I guess he's been, there were 7 counts: obstruction of official proceeding, civil disorder, entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building, parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building, aiding and abetting. So that is his charges. So we're going to read through that article. And then speaking of January 6th, the Supreme Court is going to hear 2 significant appeals related to January 6th. One is a federal agent who brought his firearm to the U.S. Capitol. And second is the DOJ use of evidence tampering law in prosecuting January 6th defendants for felony obstruction of Congress. So I'm going to read those 2. And then this the next one I'm supposed to talk about. Yeah. And then Vivek Ramaswamy continues to own CNN. So we'll watch his video of him doing that. And then Camille Vasquez, the Johnny Depp's attorney that ripped off, basically showed the truth of Amber Heard, was named Young Lawyer of the Year. And then after that, we go from a very a woman that you can respect. I think any guy can or anyone can respect Camille Vasquez. So we go from a lawyer that a woman who's a lawyer that you can respect to a bunch of hoes fighting in a parking lot. So, all right. So that's the plan for the day. I got a little bit more time today because I don't plan on going to the gym because I have such a short time. Or I got to go to work. I go to work early on Fridays. So that is my plan for the day. Hopefully it works out. Also, before I get started, make sure you check out Coffee Brand Coffee. Coffee Brand Coffee is a delicious coffee company that roasts to order. I mean, it's as fresh as you possibly get. Make sure you check it out. My favorite so far is French toast. I have a 5-pound bag. I'm probably halfway through with it by now. I drink Coffee Brand Coffee daily. But if you don't like coffee or, don't like French toast, there's a variety of flavors of coffee: dark roast, bourbon, Rocky Road, etc. But if you don't like coffee, there's teas and hot chocolate that you can try out. And then some snacks, mostly nuts and some saltwater taffy. My referral link and coupon code is in the description. Those links are in the description, so check it out. All right, let's get to it. So here we are. This is the body cam footage of that incident I was talking about between the guy who was overdosing and then shoots the cop. or the firefighter. All right, let's watch.
Oh, the police are here now.
Hey, buddy.
He isn't responsive.
Okay.
Hey, bud. Hey, how you doing?
They gave him Narcan and he popped right up. So I don't know if you guys want to do anything with that. Hey, Houston, buddy.
I'm right here.
You went unresponsive. And you're agonally breathing, which means like laborious, like pre-death breathing. They gave you a little bit of Narcan, which treats opioid overdose. I'm not saying that you did anything intentionally or illegal. What I'm going to do, bud, I'm going to pat you down, okay? You're not in any trouble, but I need to make sure nothing's going to happen with them, okay? All right?
Wait, I can't, I have to check myself first.
All right, check yourself right yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Houston, real quick, do you have any weapons on you?
No, sir.
Okay. Kind of a bulge on your right side.
That's my phone.
Okay, don't reach for anything. Just kind of
That's
touch
my
it down.
phone. I don't want, look, man, I have a problem with officers touching me, man.
Lift up your shirt then.
Sure.
I get
Lift up
nervous
your
and
shirt,
stuff.
You lift your shirt up a little so
We
I can
want to
see
make
your
sure
face.
everybody's safe.
Look, this is my...
Not move. Stay right there. Just stay there, okay, buddy? Get the ambulance up for the female.
36-year-old Mitchell Lundgaard is the first firefighter to be killed in the line of duty in Appleton in 86 years.
So there we go. There we have it. So, this is a black guy who was obviously had overdosed on some opioids. And yeah, fucking hell, dude. Like, so, I mean, and, firefighters came because they were called. So they gave him some Narcan, woke him up. And then police came, and because it was, they had to use a Narcan to wake him up, they suspected him of opioids, it looks like. And so they were trying to, talk to him and search him and all that stuff. And his response is, "Oh, I'm going to shoot some motherfuckers," apparently, is his fucking response. And so he ends up not killing the cops, but ends up killing the firefighter who just saved his life. And he's like, "Oh, I got a problem with cops." Such no, you got some shit on you. And you don't want to, you don't want to get caught because you're going to catch a charge. It's what fucking happened. And then, they go to, pat him down. They see a bulge. You got a firearm on you? No, it's my cell phone. All right, all right. Well, don't touch me. I don't like being touched. All right, well, just lift your shirt up. And then bam, 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 bam. And then this poor guy gets killed because this fucking druggie decided I'd rather, catch a bullet than go to jail. So, I mean, thoughts and prayers to his family. That poor guy, his family. I mean, like if you're a cop, you kind of expect there's a possibility of, you dying in the line of duty from a bullet. When it comes to a firefighter, if you're fighting a fire, there's an expectation, there's a possibility you may die. But if you're going and just rescuing someone from dying from their own stupidity, their own overdose, then, it's not something you kind of really would expect. Maybe, I could, maybe like, oh, the cops come, he shoots at the cops. He's not going to shoot at me. I saved his fucking life. So this guy's a garbage human being. And he only hit what? Oh, no. I was totally wrong. You don't want to know what his bail was? $500 for bail for this this garbage human being, this fucking druggie. I want to show this. So this garbage piece of refuge human being who decided, oh, I'm going to get high on a bus, and everything is now free and clear just because whatever. It's fucking garbage people. If you're interested in donating, this is the firefighter Mitchell Lundgaard's fund. It looks like he has $263,204 out of his raised goal of $300,000. Dude, this happened in May 15th, 2019. Holy crap. This happened like a while ago. Huh. I didn't realize. I thought this was something recent. This happened a while ago. Okay. All right. Let's see. So then just this. Okay. Hold on. So that's I thought this was something that was recent, but that happened a while ago. Bitch. Oh, okay, cool. Wait, what? Okay, so Ruben Houston. Okay. Fuck, this thing was not accurate at all. Hold on. Anyways, so this didn't really happen. Sorry. Sorry, I'm just trying to kind of fucking annoy that I got. I mean, it's still sad regardless. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So yeah, it's still tragic regardless. But it looks like he got $500 bail on an unrelated charge just prior to this incident. So he did this by basically simply changing his name slightly, and his record was not, wasn't able to be found. 3 years later, it comes out that's how this happened. So this guy should have been in jail, but he wasn't, because he just added an extra letter to his name, and the courts couldn't find him. So there you go. That's what happened. All right. So this is an old incident, May 2019. That's old as fuck. I hope his family and his wife and his kids are doing well. Still very sad. All right, moving on. After being embarrassed, gosh, I'm joking. All right, so here is the BBC. All right, so
the BBC.
The bitches.
So you get
still
the
believe
so,
that?
what's it? So you get the indictment, right?
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be evidence I'm a human trafficker.
Correct.
And I called my ex-girlfriend, who says I'm innocent, a slave in the file. That's the big bombshell. Aren't you
Slave those
underwhelmed?
bitches. Did you say that or
Aren't
not?
you underwhelmed?
Did you say that
By
or not?
did I call my ex-girlfriend a slave in the indictment?
You
Yes.
said slave
She
those bitches.
is fighting for my innocence, and she knows I'm innocent. She's told all the judges and courts to be called I'm innocent. If the fact that you get your hands on the indictment, producers at the BBC, pedophile harborers, and the worst thing you find in the indictment isn't anyone kidnapped, anyone chained up, anyone tied up. The fact that I called a girl who still loves me, my slave, and isn't a victim.
You said
You are
slave
so
those bitches.
you are so pathetic.
You said slave those bitches. Work them 12 hours or more.
You're a bitch.
So there you go. Tristan's 100% right. Dude's bitch. So basically, what happened is the BBC gets as you can hear, the BBC gets their indictment, and Tristan points out something pretty accurate. They get a hold of his indictment. The indictment obviously is he's saying list all the crimes and whatever he's being charged with, or whatever. It shows everything, and the worst thing they can find is him saying to an ex-girlfriend, "You're my slave, bitch." Like, that's the worst thing they can find. They didn't find anything on him being a trafficker. He's holding chicks hostage. Nothing. It's him talking to a girlfriend, who apparently is fighting for him to be released as well. So an ex-girlfriend that's not one of the quote unquote victims that are the court is trying to prosecute him for. It's just some chick that he used to date and loves him so much that she's trying to get him to be free. That's the worst of the BBC. Like, really? That's the worst you got? You got some chick or some text message. Look, okay. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest, people. You say some shit on text message to your significant other as jokes. Like, how many times I've done that to my wife? I call her not smart or dumb or dramatic or whatever, or I own you. Where are you gonna go? Blah 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 blah. You know how many times I do that? All the time. I'm clearly joking with her. I'm having some fun. So that's what that basically looks like to me. Tristan's texting some chick and he's like, "Yeah, you're my slave, bitch. Haha, I'm gonna work you 12 hours a day." Blah 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 blah. But like the BBC sees it, like, "Oh shit, we got the evidence!" Woo! they're like they get this and they're like, just yeah, I'm so excited. We got this shit. They're throwing a party. They're so excited, and it's just so underwhelming what they're trying to do. Is that's the best they got is some text message between them. They got to ask them about it. Like, "Oh, you said slave those bitches, correct?" It's like, did I say in the indictment? And Tristan goes, "Did I say in the indictment? Did I call my girl a girl I was seeing, ex-girlfriend, a slave in the indictment?" Yes. Like, that's the best you got, BBC. Like, and it's funny because you would think if they got this and there was some sort of evidence of actual trafficking and whatnot, they'd run with it. But they run with a text message between him and a significant other at the time. That's what they got. And I love Tristan. He was like, "You're a bitch." Agreed, Tristan. Agreed. All right, let's get going. But yeah, so that's the Andrew Tate update. If I remember correct, they're no longer on house arrest, but they can't leave the country. So they're free to go around. They don't have to be stuck in their house anymore. But they can't leave Romania, if I remember correctly. So that's an update on the Tate case. All right, moving on. So, armed homeowner who defended family in driveway shootout says his permit, he's been stripped of his permit. NRA calls revocation, I guess a reissue basically, of his concealed carry permit reprehensible. Oh, okay. So NRA saying that it being stripped is horrible. What the? Are you gonna be a bitch here, Fox News? All right, hold on. All right, Fox News being bitches. So here we go. Go to some other random source. All right, Vince Ricky, I don't even know how to say it. A Los Angeles resident reportedly had his concealed carry permit revoked after using a firearm to defend his family against would-be robbers. This controversial decision by local authorities raised significant questions about gun rights and homeowner self-defense laws. When was this article? How recent is this? November 17th. All right. So this is a fairly recent thing. All right. There we go. We're not going to have another mistake like that before. In a recent and controversial development, Vince Ricci, a Los Angeles homeowner, stated that his concealed carry permit was revoked after he used a firearm to defend his family from apparent would-be robbers. This incident highlights the complex intersection of gun rights and self-defense laws. It's not that actually it shouldn't be that very fucking complex. Let's be honest. Richie shared his experience in a video exclusive with the NRA, expressing his frustrations over the California decision to suspend his Second Amendment rights. According to Richie, the Los Angeles County sheriffs informed him of a revocation, which he believes was a result of his controversial confrontational behavior towards LAPD officers investigating the shooting at his home. He criticized the LAPD's handling of the case, described it as sloppy police work. He specifically pointed out their alleged failure to collect crucial evidence, including casings found near his home. This incident has sparked a broader debate on rights of homeowners to defend themselves and their families. The revocation of his permit raises questions about the criteria used by law enforcement in such a decision. The implication of legal gun owners who use their firearms in self-defense. The case has garnered attention for gun rights advocates and those in favor of stricter gun control measures, reflecting the polarizing views on family-related issues in the United States. Hold on. I would love to hear the people in favor of stricter gun control measures arguing about this thing. This guy has a gun. He's going to get robbed. He uses said gun to defend himself and his family. How are you going to try and spin that to do stricter gun control? He's not like, he didn't wave and shoot a bunch of fucking random people. He shot bad guys. As the story continues to develop, it underscores the need of a balanced approach to gun legislation, one that respects the laws of the rights of lawful gun owners while ensuring public safety. The outcome of Richie's situation may have lasting implications of how self-defense cases involving firearms are perceived, managed legally, and socially. Yeah, here's my take on it. How about, let's see, fuck you, Second Amendment. Go fuck yourself. There we go. I'm not a felon. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have not been adjudicated mentally defective. Go fuck yourself. That's what I have to say. How about that? That's how complex gun rights should be. Go fuck yourself. I'm not a felon. And even then, I could argue that some felons should be able to get their guns back. Actually, in all honesty, most felons should. Because if you serve your time and get out of jail, You've done the punishment. Why are you continuing to be punished? But that's an argument for another time. But yeah, so this guy uses his guns, legally obtained guns, to defend himself and his family. And his punishment is, well, now you can't carry it concealed. I don't know the gun laws in California. I don't really give a shit because I'm never living in California. Probably never go there either if I could help it. The Whatever podcast invited me. Maybe I'd go. It's not going to happen, but if they did, I might consider going. But yeah, he definitely got it stripped because he was criticizing LAPD. Let's be honest. You criticize cops, you're going to lose your concealed carry. Because how dare you hold cops accountable for their inadequacies? But yeah, that's definitely what happened. Let's keep it 100. All right, fucking dumbass LAPD. All right, but it's just ridiculous. Like, honestly, it's really ridiculous that anyone, look, I can understand when it comes to mass shootings and stuff like that. I mean, I criticized the guy who used his gun to fire a warning shot and helping a lady with a mugger. Now, I don't know the situation of this Los Angeles thing, but I can assume since he wasn't arrested, he was able to articulate a reasonable fear of death or bodily injury. The guy who shot the robber could not do that, so that's why he caught a charge. So, but yeah, anyways, so I don't know the case, but clearly he wasn't found to be negligent in his actions, or else he would have been charged. That may still happen. I don't know, but yeah, no, it's just ridiculous that look, there's no way in hell that this was due to the incident. Like, it has to be because he criticized the LAPD for their fuck ups. Because you can't. There's no way. They'll try and spin it saying, "Oh, it's because of such and such incident," but there's no conceivable way you could. You can say that this guy should have had his concealed carry permit revoked for using the gun for the exact purposes they're supposed to be meant for, defending oneself and family. All right, let's move on. Fucking idiots. That's why California is a garbage state. All right. So, appeals court temporarily lifts Trump's gag order in civil fraud case. The ruling came after the former president lawyers argued that he's been improperly barred from complaining about Judge Arthur Engoron's law clerk. I mean, we see what happens to some. We saw what happened with the Murtaugh, that fucking law clerk. You could be able to criticize a law clerk. All right, so a New York appeals court on Thursday temporarily blocked a gag order in former President Donald Trump's civil fraud trial that barred him from complaining about the judge's law clerk. The appellate division judge ordered the stay after Trump's attorney appealed the gag order that Judge Arthur Engoron had put in place as being unconstitutional. In a brief handwritten ruling Thursday, appellate division Justice David Friedman said he granted an interim stay on the gag order given the constitutional and statutory rights at issue. The pause will remain in place until at least November 27th, when a full panel of appeals court judge will consider the matter. Trump bashed the clerk on his social media platform, Truth Social, after the ruling in a post that did not name her, but celebrated the appeals court ruling. I love Trump. Post criticizes Engorn's ridiculous and unconstitutional gag order for not allowing me to defend myself against him and his politically biased and out of control Trump-hating clerk who is sinking him and his court to a new level of low. The gag order did not prohibit Trump from criticizing Engorn. Engorn imposed the gag order last month on the second day of the 250 million New York civil trial after Trump posted a picture of the clerk and disparaged her in a true social post. Personal attacks on members of my court staff are unacceptable, inappropriate, and I won't tolerate it. Engorn said after finding out about the social media posts and critical comments Trump's made about the clerks to reporters covering his trial in Manhattan. The judge fined Trump twice for a total of $15,000. Does he get that $15,000 back? Like, is it reimbursed to him? Since it was found to be unconstitutional? Just wondering. After finding he violated last month's order. The judge expanded the order to include Trump's attorneys last week following their repeated complaints about what they describe as the clerk's inappropriate behavior, which they said include making comments, passing notes to the judge, rolling our eyes during the witness testimony. Engorn said at the time he has every right to give advice from his clerk and that Trump's lawyers are falsely accusing her of bias against her and temporarily and improperly influence the ongoing bench trial. While ordering them not to refer to his staff, he said in his written rulings that his chamber has been inundated with threats since the trial began on October 2nd. Boo-hoo. In this appeal, Trump's argued that the gag order were not narrowly tailored. The mere potential that speech may anger or provoke others likewise does not entitle Judge Engorn to suspend the wholesale rights afforded litigants by the First Amendment and the New York Constitution, Trump attorneys wrote. The First Amendment does not permit Justice Engorn to restrict speech based on the audience's anticipation unruly reactions. He also contended that the fines Trump was hit were excessive, and Engorn had not followed proper procedures in imposing them. The appeal Wednesday did not mention the name of Engorn's clerk, but included numerous pictures of her. Trump's attorneys also filed a motion for a mistrial on Wednesday, which included repeated reference to the clerk's name in addition to numerous pictures. Friedman, who hit a pause on the gag order, is the same appellate judge who issued a temporary stay of trial in September, citing concerns by Trump's lawyers regarding outstanding legal issues. A full 5-judge panel that included Friedman lifted the stay before the trial started. Fortunately, the Constitution and the First Amendment protects everyone, including President Trump. Trump's attorney Chris Kesey said Thursday, the public will again have full access to what is really taking place in this unprecedented trial. Another Trump attorney, Alina Abba, told the Associated Press at the Appellate Division Courthouse that she would not be advising Trump to keep quiet about the clerk. I don't see a reason for restricting because Ms. James is continuing to disparage my client, she said, referring to New York Attorney General Tia James, who brought the fraud case against Trump and his company. Both sides need to be able to speak. Trump was also hit with a gag order in the federal criminal election interference case against him, which barred him from making statements from about potential witnesses and sparing comments about the prosecutors, court staff, or support personnel. U.S. District Judge Tana Chutkan, who's presiding over the case, briefly lifted order last month pending Trump's appeal on constitutional grounds, but eventually put it back in place. The U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for Washington, D.C. will hear arguments Monday on Trump's appeal in the federal case. Look, all you fuckers are public servants. We'll bash you as much as we fucking want. Like, go fuck yourself. Seriously, go fuck yourself. If you're so, we're getting threats and stuff like that. Look, don't threaten the judge. It's dumb. Don't threaten his snap. That's dumb. Bash him all you want. Don't threaten. But let's be honest, Judge. All right, you have security in the courtroom. You're not in danger there. I'm afraid in the house. Look. There's all of it's talk. No one's really going to do anything to you. Let's be honest. You're not that important. You're just an asshole. But, in any case, regardless, the First Amendment's the First Amendment for a reason, people. All right. You don't get to just Oh, you made disparaging comments about my clerk. So what? You're a public servant. Guess what? You get to be open to criticism, just like these fucking cops in Los Angeles, who more than likely suspended this dude's concealed carry because they didn't like what he said about them. So, shout out to the appeals court, especially Friedman, Justice Friedman. Shout out to you for doing the right thing and not doing something dumb as, continue to hinder a man's right to speak out. But the thing I love about this is the whole reason Trump's leading in the polls. People are watching this and they're saying, look, I may not like Trump, but this is wrong. What they're doing to him is wrong. And plus how terrible Biden's been doing. That helps too. But yeah. But shout out to that judge for ensuring to hopefully the 5-panel judges will agree and not be bitches. So fucking dumb. So dumb. All right. Let's check this out. So moving on. It just really irritates me. This whole thing, and really these charges are complete bullshit. Because look, the civil frauds one has to do with the fact that he valued his Mar-a-Lago estate a lot higher. I think that's this one than it ought to be. And there's a misunderstanding of the fact that when it was valued, I believe he was either was a sitting president, I believe, which would significantly increase the value of that fucking property. I think that's what this civil fraud part. Oh, he also filed. Oh yeah, no, I erased that. Okay, no, this isn't about Mar-a-Lago. My bad. I can't even find a real fucking on. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm thinking of something entirely different. Yeah, so it's the trials basically. They've been found to inflate his assets by billions of dollars to secure more favorable loans and insurance terms, which I think is a very dumb thing. Mar-a-Lago thing, I'm thinking of something entirely different. But yeah, that's what it is. They were accused of inflating their assets to secure better loans. That's what it basically is. Oh. I want to shout out to you, Harrison Pierre, for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, so that was Trump's. Look, let me say it. All Trump's cases that he's being charged with are bullshit. They're just trying to hammer him for trying to stop him from becoming president again. And then all they're doing is helping him, which I love so much. All right, so Botex Farago. What the fuck is Farago? Faragomo? Oh, it's clothing. Really? Okay. Botex, Ferragamo, and OnlyFans. How George Santos allegedly spent his campaign funds. It's fucking hilarious. He's hit it on hoes. Look, if you're going to spend campaign funds on hoes, at least get some hookers. Like, come on. At least actually get your dick wet instead of, stroking it to, a couple of broads with pictures. All right. The House Ethics Committee found the financial struggling candidate was living the high life with the help of campaign funds. Santos called the report a smear. The scathing House Ethics Committee report on embattled Representative George Santos, Republican New York, alleges he was a cash-strapped candidate who used campaign contributions to live a life of luxury, including spending donor money on trips to casinos, shopping at high-end retailers, and even Botox treatments and OnlyFans payments. Representative Santos was frequently in debt, had an abysmal credit score, and relied on ever-growing wallet of high-interest credit cards to fund his luxury spending habit. Sorry. He occasionally deposited large amounts of cash that he never accounted for, moved money between his various bank accounts in a highly suspicious manner, and made over 100,000 cash withdrawals for unknown purposes. A report by the panel's investigative subcommittee, or ISC, found. The probe found that with what it alleged was a pattern of campaign committee expenditures for travel and other personal services that may not have represented legitimate and verifiable campaign expenditures. Subcommittee also alleged Santos stonewalled its investigation. Without Representative Santos' cooperation, report said the ISC was unable to verify whether such expenditures and other details below were incurred for bona fide campaign purposes. However, certain expenditures on their face do not appear to have campaign nexus. Santos tweeted that the report was biased and a disgusting politicalized smear. He also accused the panel of having gone to extraordinary lengths to smear myself and my legal team about me not being forthcoming. My legal bills suggest otherwise. Here's a look at what the report alleges Santos' campaign spent money on. Honeymoon in Vegas. Investigative subcommittee reviewed taxi and hotel charges on a campaign credit card that were incurred in Las Vegas in December 2021 during a time when Representative Santos had told his campaign staff that he was on his honeymoon. There was no corresponding campaign events on his calendar. Hampton's Hotel. The subcommittee identified a July 7, 2022, $3,332.81 Airbnb expenditure reported to the FCC as a hotel stay. Okay, I'm not going to read every single thing. I'm just going to read what he spent it on. Atlantic City, spa days, bank accounts, Hermes, Sephora, and OnlyFans. Farango stores, ATM withdrawals, rent. So that's what he's spending on. OnlyFans, come on. Look, you're a congressman. If you're going to spend money on hoes, at least spend money on hookers. Then you could at least get your dick wet. That's all I'm saying, dude. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, All right. It's hilarious. So we'll see if that. Oh, and apparently, sometime this morning, they're going to the ethics committee is gonna. What are they gonna do? They're gonna. It's not censured. What the fuck are they gonna do? Okay. Yeah. They're going to introduce a resolution to expel George Santos from Congress this morning. That's what they're allegedly going to do. So we'll see if they actually end up doing that. That's hilarious, though. OnlyFans. Come on, dude. At least get some hookers. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you're going to spend money on hoes, get some hookers so you can get your dick sucked and, get some pussy. I think that's fairly reasonable, right? All right. Far left BLM activist John Sullivan convicted on all charges in January 6th case. Sullivan said he was only at the Capitol to document the event. Infamous Black Lives Matter activist John Earl Sullivan has been found guilty on all counts for his role in January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol. Sullivan, 29, of Utah, has been officially charged with 7 counts. I already read those, so I'm not going to reread them. You can read them right here if you'd like. U.S. District Court Judge Royce C. Leperth has ordered Sullivan to be placed in custody until his sentence date per NBC. Sullivan, a prominent Black Lives Matter activist who self-proclaimed to be a journalist on January 6th, recorded one of the most infamous videos from inside the U.S. Capitol on that day. The video showed the shooting death of military Air Force veteran Ashley Babbitt at the hands of U.S. Capitol Police Officer Michael Byrd. Sullivan sold the rights to several of his videos to multiple media outlets for tens of thousands of dollars. Both CNN and NBC paid Sullivan $35,000 for the video of Babbitt. Sullivan also received $5,000 from Left Right Productions and $2,500 from the Australian Broadcast Corporations. During the court testimony, Sullivan, who is the founder of a Utah-based extremist group Insurgency USA, maintained that he had embedded himself among the pro-Trump crowd to record the January breach of the Capitol building. However, the court didn't buy his testimony. Prosecutors submitted a video into evidence that showed Sullivan intentionally inciting and encouraging violence within the crowd. I was only observing, Sullivan said in his testimony. I followed the crowd. I was there to document. Sullivan also followed up by Sullivan's testimony was followed up by prosecutors who played multiple videos of Sullivan urging on the mob, which includes self-declaration of wanting to make Trump supporter fuck shit up. I'm going to side with anyone who's ready to rip this shit down, Sullivan said in one video shared by prosecutors. I brought my microphone to instigate shit, he said in another video. In addition, Sullivan can be heard saying on video, we did this together. Fuck yeah, we're all part of this history. Let's burn this shit down. NBC News reported the prosecutors portrayed Sullivan as an anti-establishment activist who had the goal to burn it all down during the January 6th Capitol riot. An FBI special agent, noted via sworn affidavit that Sullivan admitted that he had no press credentials. The investigation failed to yield any connection between Sullivan and any journalistic organization. During initial court proceedings, federal prosecutors Brian Reeves pointed at Sullivan's protest-drawn provocateur persona and alleged that he will pose as different members of organizations, even those that have disavowed him, just to stir up trouble. Sullivan also had plans to return to Washington for Inauguration Day on January 6th. January 20th, Reeves emphasized. Sullivan was arrested and charged earlier in July 2020 during the Antifa Black Lives Matter riot, where drivers in Provo were threatened and one was shot. Additionally, it was disclosed that Sullivan was formerly an Uber-endorsed Olympic speed skate prospect. He performed a variety of odd jobs during his training before starting his new job as an Uber driver. The ride-hail service linked to Sullivan's self-started GoFundMe page in an article headlined "Meet John, an aspiring speed skater," which highlighted Sullivan. The campaign raised $2,500 before it was removed from the site. The self-described social justice activist checkered past has raised doubts about his genuine intentions. Even political left figures have questioned Sullivan's actions following the January 6th riot and denounced his effective attempts to blend in with the protest crowd. Lex Scott, the head of the BLM Utah chapter, maintained to Fox News that his group does not want to be associated with Sullivan. Too bad. CNN Anderson Cooper featured Sullivan on his show in the wake of the riots to present his account as the self-proclaimed heroic reporter who both witnessed and captured the female veteran's death. That's funny. What's funny is, they got the videos of showing him apparently inciting a riot, and I don't see any charges for riot incitement, which is interesting. So there you go. Even BLM is getting their pound of fresh from January 6th. Look, I don't think anyone should be charged with January 6th. I don't even think this guy. I guess especially with the charges he got, I don't think there's anything that he should be charged with. Free all January 6ers. That's all I'm saying. It's what I believe in. Sticking to it. Speaking of January 6th, the U.S. Supreme Court has scheduled a conference for December 1st to decide whether to hear two significant appeals related to the events of January 6th. First case involves a federal agent. Sorry. Okay. Federal agent brought his firearm to the U.S. Capitol, and second, considered the Department of Justice use of an evidence tampering law and prosecuting January 6th defendants for felony obstruction of Congress. All right. Apparently, December 4th should be when they agree whether the Supreme Court will agree to review the cases, reject the petitions, postpone them for further discussion at a later conference. So, let's see. I couldn't find much on the whole DOJ part. I think this is the FBI agent, the federal agent. A former FBI agent has been arrested for alleged role in the January 6, 2020 attack on the U.S. Capitol and charged with 4 misdemeanor counts, including unlawful entry, a restricted building, and disorderly conduct, according to court filings. Jared Wise, 51, who served as an FBI agent and supervisory agent from 2004 to 2017, was taken into custody on Monday and released home with conditions, according to court filings. Till last June, he resided in New Braunfels, Texas, but has since moved to Bend, Oregon. Let's see. Told cops he was disgusted by them. They're Nazis. Gestapo. Camera footage also captured Wise's reaction on surrounding protesters began to attack police officers trying to defend the Capitol. Finally added, in the video, he can be heard egging on by shouting, "Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him." Well, that's not a good idea. That's dumb. All right. So I think that's the federal agent that's being referred to. I don't know if he has much of cases. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what's for. That's funny as hell. Kill him, kill him, kill him. It's not a good thing to say at all. You really remember the video's going to come back and bite him in the ass. All right. Yeah, there's really not much. It'll be interesting. We'll see what happens with this Supreme Court. If they actually end up doing anything. Probably won't. Probably say, no, we're not interested. Maybe at least for the federal agent. Maybe they'll be interested with the DOJ thing. I have no idea. I couldn't find any information on that. So I'm not sure what they're talking about. But come December 4th, maybe we'll get some news and we'll figure out what's being said. All right. So here's Vivek going against CNN again and owning them. Ramaswamy reacts to rivals Trump's vermin remark. Let's see what is being said and how Vivek owns CNN.
That language, they live like vermin. Do you believe that that is, as your Republican colleague Chris Christie has said, neo-Nazi rhetoric?
This is a classic mainstream media move. Pick some individual phrase of Donald Trump, focus on literally that word without actually interrogating the substance of what's at issue.
The word was chosen for a reason.
We are in the middle of a cultural war in this country.
The word was chosen for a reason.
It's actually describing a series of behaviors. You have Antifa and other related groups that have been burning down cities for the last 3 years in this country.
Would you describe them as vermin?
Violating the rule of law. We have an invasion on our southern border. We have millions of people crossing our southern border. Let's talk about the substance of why we have to recognize that we're not in ordinary times.
Would you use that language yourself?
The vocabulary of the vermin or not is not what's important. Well, I haven't used that language. So you can look at my track record on the campaign trail. I talk about the issues. We all talk about them differently. But what I'm not going to do is play some game of focusing on some word that somebody else said without ignoring entirely the substance of what we're actually talking about. A border crisis of historic proportion. Economic stagnation we haven't seen in 50 years. A national identity crisis and a loss of national pride in the next generation that's potentially existential for this country. Let's talk about our dependence on China. Today, we're actually talking about Xi Jinping, picking on Donald Trump's word vermin to talk about that status quo. You know what's vermin? What's running around San Francisco on a given day before Gavin Newsom cleaned it up on a dime to roll out the red carpet for Xi Jinping. If he could do that for Xi Jinping, he could have done it on an ordinary day. And yet we're here sitting talking not about the substance of that, but on one word that Donald Trump said in some speech in Miami. This is what's wrong with the mainstream media. Focus on substance and let's have an actual policy debate rather than talking to a presidential candidate instead of the policy substance of what's actually going on in the country, picking on some word that Donald Trump said on a certain day and asking me for comment on it. Give me a break.
Go Vivek. Go Vivek. Dude, how is this guy falling behind Nikki Haley in the polls? I think those polls are rigged. Like, how is this fucking guy behind in the polls behind Nikki Haley? Nikki Haley made some dumb comment like, I may be wearing heels, but they're ammunition. What the fuck was that shit? If you watched the debate, what the fuck was that? What was that comment? Anyways, but he has a really good point. That's all mainstream media does, is they pick on a certain thing that Donald Trump said. We saw it all the entire time during his, what was it, 2016 campaign or 2020 or whatever, his run during 2016 or before, yeah, during 2016. That he'd say something. Actually, in his entire presidency too, he'd say something. Mainstream media would go and say, "Oh, I don't like this," and they'd pick it out, and then they blow it up to such a proportion that by the time you actually read it, and then you went and found out what he actually said, you're like, it was blown up so much where you're like, "Huh, I guess that was actually kind of reasonable." When in other circumstances, if you just put the quote he actually said, he probably wouldn't have been like, "Oh, that's bad," but you know. CNN, NBC, whatever, all the mainstream media would blow up whatever he said to such huge proportions that it was a lot worse than he actually said. So by the time you actually found out what he actually said, you're like, oh, well, that's kind of reasonable. Like they did this all the goddamn time. They just pick on the word and they would ignore what he was saying or what that word was associate or what was the comment, what was the context. They ignored the complete context and just picked on the word. Like that's what they did, and Vivek rightly pointed that out. And this fucking lady's like, would you use it? Doesn't matter if I would use it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. What is the context regarding the use of the word? Is he just saying black people are vermin, Mexican people are vermin? Is he just saying that? Or is he saying these people crossing the border are vermin? Because that's a big fucking difference. Like he's not calling out a people. He's calling the actions of individuals. He's not calling all Mexicans vermin. He's calling the ones that cross the border. This is just an example, by the way, but he's calling the ones that crossing the border illegally vermin. That's a huge that matters when it comes to context. It's a big difference. But, CNN, they don't really have much to report. They're like Chris Christie. All they got to do is say, all they got is Orange Man bad. And that's all they got. Because if they actually provided what he actually said and anything, I'm pretty sure Trump's poll ratings would jump even more. Because everyone would be like, yeah, I kind of agree with this. Fucking dumb reporters. Go Vivek. I don't think he's going to be president this time around, but I think he deserves a place in the cabinet at the very least. He's doing very, very well. All right, so Camille Vasquez, if you watch the Johnny Depp trial or any clips or whatever, you remember the attractive Latina lady lawyer. This is her. Okay. So you remember her, and if anything you remember her crossing Amber Heard and just eviscerating her on the stand, and then completely and owning her lawyer, her attorney, Amber Heard's attorney, Elaine Barwell, I think was her name, completely owning her on her recross, where like 90% of what Elaine was trying to ask to Amber Heard was ended up being objected to and sustained. So Eve Barlow. That was her name, not Elaine. Was it Elaine or Eve? No, not Barlow. Elaine is Amber Heard. Eve Barlow's is Amber Heard's fucking fake best friend. Elaine Bredehoff. That was her name. Elaine Bredehoff. But like Camille Vasquez completely owned Elaine Bredehoff so badly that I don't even think she actually ended up finishing like everything she wanted to say. She ended up just rage quitting and be like, "That's all I got," because she couldn't ask a simple question. So that's Camille Vasquez. It's a little bit of her backstory. And after the Johnny Depp trial, she was actually made partner at her firm. So she was, great. So, anyways, she's been named Young Lawyer of the Year, litigation. I guess. I don't know. There's some awards for lawyers, apparently.
Tremendous honor.
Oh, and this is her statement.
Thank you to the American Lawyer. I am truly humbled to have been nominated and to receive the award. I would be remiss if I didn't express my sincere regrets for not being able to join you all this evening and to meet my fellow distinguished nominees. Congratulations on your nominations. This is one of the moments I call a pinch me moment. It's a moment of reflection and where I can express my gratitude for the numerous people who have supported me along the way. I learned early on the value of an education from my parents. For first-generation Hispanic women, that meant endless opportunities. I have the most wonderful family, and I fully appreciate how lucky I am to have their encouragement, support, and love. Thank you, Mom and Dad, Cherie, Michael, and Esme. I have also been blessed by amazing mentors and champions throughout my career. When younger people ask for advice, I encourage them to seek out both mentors and champions. This evening, I encourage us to remember the people in our lives who have given us the chance. I encourage us to be those people for the younger lawyers. It's made the most tremendous impact on my career. I also want to thank my firm, Brown Rudnick, for its dedication to my practice. I work with smart, great lawyers who also happen to be extremely kind and generous people. I want to again say how grateful I am to receive this award. I consider it an honor to walk into a courtroom and advocate for my clients. I consider it a privilege to help my clients achieve their objectives and to be their voice. I am one of those fortunate people who gets to do what I feel I was born to do. My greatest reward is being a lawyer. I wish you all continued success. Thank you once more.
All right. That's Camille Vasquez. So that's her. Also, if you remember, there's all these rumors that her and Johnny Depp were hooking up and everything like that. It's another thing I wanted to add. But no, good for Camille Vasquez. She really earned it. If you watch the trial at all, you could fucking agree. Like, you watch the trial at all, you can agree she really earned it. And the fact that she got a partner right after that speaks volumes of how well she did. She did amazing. It was actually, she was the best part of watching that trial. Real quick, I just want to show something. So this is just, hold on real quick. Just a quick real one. Sorry. Just a quick rewind. Back to the last thing we were talking about, the whole vermin thing. So this is this Brooklyn dad defiant fucker. I don't know. He has dumb shit, he says. Let's be honest. All right, so I know he tweets this. I know I would never vote for someone who referred to me, my neighbors, or any human being as vermin. Copying elements of Hitler's speech is a bad look for anyone, let alone a former president. If that doesn't immediately disqualify you, it says more about you, or disqualifying. If that isn't immediately disqualifying for you, it says more about you than it does about him. And then at some point, okay, so that one, it doesn't say when. I guess that obviously was recent. This was in 2018. Every day I'm exhausted. I never seen a more nonstop parade of ugliness. Trump tripped over the ugly rock, and all the hateful, lying, and stupid MAGA vermin crawled out from under it. But I can't wait. I won't stop. There are 17 days left. Make them count. Vote #vote blue. This is a big old self-own. I don't know what the fuck it is. That was fucking hilarious. Oh, man. All right. I just wanted to see. I saw that while I was listening to Camille talk. And I was like, this is funny. I got to show this. All right. Last but certainly not least, let's watch a couple of stripper hoes fight. And it's kind of funny, too. All right. So there we go. A nice ass. There we go. So let's watch this. I just came across this. And I thought it was funny.
Fight me. She's scared of me. To everyone.
She ain't scared of you.
You're a prostitute. Back
She
up.
ain't scared of you.
Hold up. She calls this chick here a prostitute. Look, chick, you're probably a prostitute, too. Let's be fucking honest. Look at what you're wearing. You know what's funny? This chick here that she's calling prostitute is far more covered up than this ugly bitch.
It biblically states that prostitution is a sin.
Oh, yeah.
So back up.
Okay, and you think dancing naked
Get
for
away.
money ain't a sin? You don't think what you're doing ain't a sin? Go ahead. Go
Look
ahead.
at this. Look
Go
at
ahead. This bitch
what the
is
fuck
crazy.
is this? What is this? You know what that reminds me of? If you ever watched the movie Get Hard, there's this like dancing like jiu-jitsu or whatever that Will Ferrell's character does. Hold on, I want to see if I can find a clip. Okay. Really quick. This is what this chick reminds me of. This is what she reminds me of. All right.
You had to change your clothes for this?
What
the fuck are you doing, man?
It's called capoeira. It's a Brazilian martial art. But don't be fooled by its beauty and grace. It's actually quite deadly.
This is deadly. That's deadly. Stab.
Ow!
Stab.
Stop.
Stab.
Guards!
Stab.
Guards!
What are you stabbing? Stab. Stab.
Does that remind you of this chick? Hold on, we'll get back to it. So, okay, let's watch it again. Also, if you're a stripper and you look a little more like a hooker than the other chick, can't really talk about the Bible. Just shut the fuck up. All right, so listen. Hold on.
What you're doing ain't a sin? Go
You
ahead.
look-
Go ahead.
Siba.
Go ahead.
Siba.
This bitch is crazy.
Siba. She's been studying that Brazilian martial art.
Fight me. She's
Oh, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Oh, that little dance. Siba. Seriously, doesn't that remind you of that movie? Oh, that chick was on some good stuff, apparently. But again, yeah, if you're dressed like she is, don't talk about the fucking Bible. You got no fucking, you got nothing. Like, seriously, what are you fucking talking about? Talking about the Bible. Prostitution's a sin. Look, most strippers nowadays are fucking hookers too. They fucking fuck for money as well. It's how they make a good amount of fucking money nowadays. Oh, man. Oh, man, that was just funny as fuck to watch. All right, so that's all I got today. I had to end it on that funny note, honestly. All right. That's all I got today. I hope you guys have a good day. I certainly enjoyed that last bit. Make sure you follow me on X, on my Rumbles. Check me out. Give me a good follow. Rumble.com/withghost and rumble.com/gamewithghost. I will be playing the new Naruto game coming out that came out yesterday. All right. I hope you all have a good day. Peace out and see you later.